Minor Disturbance Radio, episode 25. I want to welcome you guys. I got Travis here, and I got Jeff here, and of course, I'm Brian Miner, and it's the big to-do lately for the fucking ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Everybody's seen a billion fucking videos of that, right? Everybody's tired of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I got to say, you know, when we did ours, Travis, when we got called out as Minor Disturbance Radio,
Yeah.
I still cannot believe that you did not even flinch.
I used my skills of concentration. Now, if you watch the video closely, you will notice that my chest actually stops heaving at one point because I'm, at that moment, totally unable to breathe. But
It looked to me as though you just sat through it. Like you didn't even blink hardly.
yeah. No, and it was because I achieved meditation at that moment.
Well, you did good because I know that I had a hard time controlling what sounds were coming out of me after that ice. Seriously, I mean, I remember standing there going, "This is going to sound really stupid when we play the song. You know, when we put the video out, I'm going to sound like an idiot,
Right?
Like, you know, doing all that shit.
Yeah,
like I was going into labor.
No, I thought it sounded like somebody was maybe fingering your butthole.
Well, somebody was, but
That's the unedited version.
Thank goodness we weren't using the ultra wide angle lens. we would have caught everything.
But yeah, when that cold hits you, I don't think that Jeff Covert would know anything about that because he didn't do the ice bucket challenge.
I knew nothing about it. Yeah.
Sometimes I envy you because you're one of them Facebook stalker guys. You don't have a Facebook page,
I don't even look at it.
Lurker.
but you can still just go look into everybody else's life
I
like
don't.
like you're looking in a window. You know, hey man, let's see what everybody's doing.
I find out things through you.
Do you?
Yeah, that's my information super highway.
You mean
right
like him in person or him on Facebook?
him in person?
But
So, is there anything I need to know?
I was gonna say, well, that's
Nope, you're good.
that's antique.
Yeah.
That's some kind of antiquated
what I
way.
do.
You actually talk to people. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And I wrote a letter and put a stamp on it. And
I'm on Chantix right now. Okay, I haven't smoked in almost 2 weeks.
Oh.
So I got to tell you guys how Chantix works. Okay,
All right.
just so that everybody understands that my brain is not my own anymore. Okay, so basically what nicotine does, if you understand, and you're smokers, and when you get, you smoke, you get that fix, you get that cessation of, and you get the endorphins. What is it, endorphins?
Yeah, that's right.
That rush through your body, go, fuck,
right.
that feels good. So you have a chemical that you've taken in called nicotine that now controls when you get endorphins, or when you have the good feeling, or feel-good feeling.
Yeah.
It controls all of your brain. And what Chantix does is it goes in there and it kicks the nicotine out, and it now controls your brain. And it tells you don't get any happy feeling at all.
but
I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard.
so how long do you have to take this for?
12 weeks.
Because that's what they tell you, or you think you need
12 weeks. No. They always say that you should stay on it the entire 12 weeks.
to keep buying their product? Or
No,
because you need it.
You get it all in one dose. You get like the whole packages of it,
Right.
and you take one a day for a while. You start off. I'll tell you how it works. They trick your ass because it's a magic pill, right? If you're a smoker and you're like, I gotta quit, it's time. I can't do it anymore.
Yep, magic bullet.
We've got this magic pill. If you take this, it will help you quit smoking. You mean it'll take away all them bad vibes and like being pissed and stuff? Mm-hmm. And so sucker, you eat that blue pill and you don't get a boner. And
Right. Yep. Oh, and by the way, all your dreams are fucked.
I got this, man. Did you take Chantix?
No, I just know all about this.
I
kind
do.
Of shit.
So basically, all right, the first week, here's how they trick you. I'm just telling you, if you're a smoker and you want to quit, this is what happens. So they say, no, you can take the pill and still smoke. That's fine. Smoke away, man. Go ahead. Yeah, the first week, smoke as much as you want. Just take this pill every day. And so what happens is that is actually blocking your receptors in your brain from getting nicotine. So the first week you're on it, you're not getting a fix. Whoa. I'm out in the garage smoking Swisher Sweets like, fuck everybody, And so you can smoke, but you're going through the withdrawals already.
Yeah.
The chemical already has no addiction power after 3 days, 72 hours.
Wow.
So 3 days of taking the first blue pill, you're actually starting to not get nicotine in your receptors, and you're starting to get over the addiction.
Right.
You just don't know it.
Right.
You're still smoking. Fuck this thing.
Yeah, right.
It's not working.
It says I can smoke for another week. Nah, and you're doing your thing. And then it's the quit date. And by the time you hit the quit date, then you start taking 2 pills a day.
Oh, shit.
And you hit the quit date, and you're already over the nicotine.
Right.
You just don't have the habit broke. So you're like,
Right.
well, this is easy. This pill's working because you've already went through the withdrawal.
Sure.
While you were smoking.
Okay.
Right.
So it tricks you.
Okay.
But at the same time, you have no happy feelings ever again.
Right. They'll come back. It just takes time.
It's slow, but in the dream thing, forget it.
Really?
Haven't had I even took 2 one night just to see if I could get them really, ramped up.
Ooh, sleep in a cold room.
Really?
Yeah.
Will that help?
That'll take your dreams to the next level.
Because they were telling me that like it was a warning, like you might have vivid dreams. I'm like, bring it, bitch.
Yeah, right. I love livid dreams. I love livid dreams. Where I'm really fucking pissed.
Vivid. Don't they make pornos, man? I'm like, hell yeah, bring them on.
So you are having crazy dreams.
I have not. Well, I've had a couple that, okay, this is what I think happens. I think that what they mean by that is as you're doing the dreams, I mean, some people say they have nightmares, but I think for me, as the dreams are happening, I don't know that they're vivid because you always think that dreams are vivid when you're in them. You
would think they're real.
Yeah, you think they're real.
Right.
So when the dream's over and I'm doing things throughout the next day, I think that the things that I dreamt actually happened yesterday.
Oh.
Like, for example, I remember putting money in my wallet in my dream.
Oh.
And the next day I grabbed my wallet going, I put a 20 in there yesterday.
Yep.
Totally thinking it really happened.
Yeah.
And then got to the gas station and went, well, shit. And then I even had to call my wife. It was like,
did I hallucinate this shit?
Yeah. I said, I dreamt that last night that I did that and I thought it was real. So that happens.
Wow.
So you actually think that what happened in your dream really happened.
So you lose your discernment between the dream reality and your waking reality.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a treat.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that shit.
Yeah.
Because,
to the point where I had to stop in the middle of the day and go, am I dreaming this shit right now?
Right,
or is
exactly.
this, is this cool? And then, you don't know. Anyway, I'm on Chantix, so my brain is all jacked up. And
now, why do you think they call it Chantix?
I have no idea.
I mean, Chantix, that sounds like some kind of weird fucking voodoo ritual or something.
Yeah, who comes up with these names for medicines?
And so I start researching Chantix. Okay, I go online because I got to be honest. I was starting to be a complete asshole to everybody. I mean, basically, my threshold for being able to keep control of my anger and being out of control, like, God, fuck this, was a fine line.
Sure.
And it didn't take much.
Sure.
It could take somebody asking me what time it is.
Now, do you think it was the withdrawals, or do you think it was because the behavior of smoking was your way of suppressing your expressions of those feelings regularly? I mean, do you think that it was like it was like the pain of withdrawals that was causing you to be irate, or do you think the irateness was just there?
I think that the Chantix keeps you at that state somehow by controlling your receptors in your brain. It's also controlling how much
So
you
it's
get
like,
of everything.
But it's kind of like the withdrawal then.
It takes the place of nicotine, but it gives you a very small dose of happiness. You don't get a lot. So you're...
Now, you've quit before without any help, right?
Yeah, I've done a cold turkey before.
Why didn't you do it this time? You felt like you needed that
because
help?
it fucking sucks.
Yeah. What is it?
So which way's better?
Honestly, I did it this way because if it's going to be any help, I'll take it.
Sure.
Because you don't smoke. You never have, Travis.
I did. I smoked for about 3 years.
You did?
Yeah.
And you just easily just put it down?
No. But this is how it went. I went up to Six Flags. This is a great story. I went up to Six Flags with my brother and my parents' church group. Right? And on the way, my brother and I dropped a couple hits of acid.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so when you're with your parents,
that to the world.
when you're with your parents and you're with your parents' church group, it's probably not the greatest idea to eat acid.
You didn't think through this, did you?
No, we didn't. But yes, the impetuous days of youth. Not like I would do it today, but in any event, I got up there and I was in my smoking phase. I'd been smoking for a while. Like 2.5 years, 2 3/4, something like that. And I got up there. And I smoked one cigarette on the way up there before we really started tripping, And then we got up there, and then I was tripping balls. And we were just walking around the park and, acting fools, basically. And I thought, oh, it's time to smoke a cigarette. So I just went into my cigarette habit, and I lit up the cigarette, and I took a drag off it, and it was the most delicious, wonderful tasting cigarette that I'd ever experienced. Until I breathed it out. And the after smoke tasted so different and so bad to me that I immediately threw the cigarette out of my mouth, stomped it out on the ground, picked it up, put it in the garbage, took a fresh pack with only 2 cigarettes out of it and threw it in the garbage can, and I never smoked again.
So you're saying that I should be dropping acid?
That's what I think, man. LSD is the key to quitting smoking.
Well, I've never done anything like that because I'm a good kid.
Oh, yeah.
So... Yeah.
I don't know who he's trying to fool.
Yeah. No. You might be surprised, as far as drugs and rock and roll, everybody's like, sex, drugs, rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
I've always been the kid that, I didn't smoke marijuana until I was in my early 30s.
You may or may not have smoked marijuana.
No, I'll admit it. I smoked marijuana when I turned like 30 or something like that. I was like, well, I'm going to see what this shit's all about.
That's a late bloomer. I
mean, I had bouts with it when I was younger, but it was just real and I didn't like it. It was too freaky.
Sure. Like how old? Like,
high school days. I've talked about it before, but you try it for the first time and overdo it, and then all of a sudden you're this vegetable that's freaking out, and oh my god, I gotta go home. And I didn't like that experience.
Sure.
So when I got on my own and I was old enough to kind of, I'm gonna stay in my living room at my house. I'm gonna get some snacks. I called a friend. It's like, bring me a joint, man.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
I'm making a night of this.
And it was me and my girlfriend at the time, and somebody delivered a joint to us, and together we smoked this joint.
Sure.
And just listened to music, and had probably one of the best nights of being high ever in my life because, an hour later I'm flying around my living room, you're like, everybody wants to greatest song ever here.
Exactly.
Dancing around and
Surgeon
being an
General's
asshole.
warning. All your food's going to taste amazing. All your music's going to sound fucking great.
It was so awesome because, I hadn't done it so much. So, from that point on, I'm chasing the dragon.
Right.
There's some instances you got to go off it for a while and then come back to it.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and I did it slowly. I didn't, smoke an ice bong for an hour.
See, now that's like the opposite of my experience. My experience was more the trailer park Northwest End experience, which is you smoke as much as you can, as often as you can, in whatever manner you can get it done. You know what I mean? Every different form of everything to try to, and there was a whole etiquette surrounding it, and it was our white trash passion,
Yeah.
And we, listened to metal and fucking cranked the air conditioning way too low.
I often wonder, though, and I'll be honest.
13 years old, though. That's where I was going with that. Yeah.
In all honesty, when I was in high school and junior high and all that, I always thought that the people that smoked pot were losers. They were the kids that were sitting out by the logs with the AC/DC shirts on with the bowl cuts, and dude, what's up? We're skipping today. Fuck school.
Yeah, we were losers.
And I was like, God, I don't want to be that guy.
Right. No, we were losers.
You watched all the after school specials, didn't you?
I'm just saying that
you watched every episode of He-Man.
Yeah.
No.
It was always a good lesson at the end of that fucking thing.
I don't understand what you guys are talking about. But anyway, them kids were the bad kids. And I realized that also on the other end of the spectrum, there were the kids that were the smartest kids in school.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That were doing this thing. And it was doing different things to the smartest kids in school than it was doing to the guys sitting out by the logs.
That's a fact. Mm-hmm.
It made the guys out by the logs not want to do anything but just sit and veg.
Yep.
And it made the smartest guys in our class smarter.
Yeah, like it took their brain in different dimensions.
I never understood that. Yeah. I never understood that when I asked them. I'm not going to say any, name any names, but these guys were guys that were getting like 33s on the ACT.
Yeah,
and really standing out.
Yeah,
and
they could do math.
Yeah, and they did that prior.
Yeah,
to focus.
Yeah.
So you kind of look at that, and then you kind of look at these other kids, and you go, well, I'm not that, but I'm not really that either.
Sure.
Let's see what it does with me. And the things that it does to me is beautiful.
Yeah, right. You can hear the greatness and stuff.
Movies are awesome.
Yeah.
You're paying attention.
Because you're more attentive.
You fall more into things.
Absolutely.
You look past things. Like your ego goes away. Therefore, you can just see things for what. The best conversations I've had with myself have been when I was high.
You mean like talking to yourself?
When I'm trying to figure out something about myself. Yeah. If I'm left to my own devices and I'm high,
yep,
I can clearly get right to the answer of of what it is that's troubling me.
That's right.
Because there's no ego like, I don't want to think about that because that makes me look bad. Your body doesn't,
Right.
They're just saying that because they're jealous.
Right. But that's what I mean. You don't have that superficial reaction that wants to sort of home in on this artificial insecurity.
I just get so angry though, because I was on the bandwagon of, hey, if you do drugs, you're a criminal.
Right.
You deserve bust them motherfuckers with the weed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But as I got, and when I did it for real as an adult in a controlled environment, and I realized that this stuff is harmless.
Yeah.
Yet people are still being locked in a box.
Right.
For having it or smoking it. Just last night we were watching Cops, and they busted this poor kid. He just bought a fucking ounce.
Yeah.
Just bought an ounce.
That's a little too much to be carrying, son, for personal
The
use.
mistake he made was he was being a dick in that he had like a gun stuffed between the seats of his car.
You stupid fuck.
So he gets pulled over by the cops. The cops see the gun, freak out, pull him out of the car, search the car, find his ounce.
Yep.
He doesn't even have any bullets in the gun. It's like he wanted to act cool or something.
Right.
Some guy's head on backwards.
Exactly.
And they get this thing out and they're like weighing it in the bag with it. They're like, this is an ounce and whatever. I was like, oh no. And they poured it out on the hood. Buds.
Really?
That big. And
Giant.
Me and my wife, and she doesn't even partake. She's like, oh, that poor bastard. And we're both like, Jesus Christ. Give him his weed back.
Yeah.
Take his gun.
Was he in
punch him in the
Texas?
face. Let him go get high.
Telling me he wasn't in Texas.
Taser
I don't
for
know
my
where they were.
entertainment.
Oh, God.
But I know they were like, have you smoked this today? And he's like, not yet. He was being honest. I was about ready to go home and freaking play Nintendo and get stoned, you know?
Yep.
Be happy for about an hour.
Yep.
Is that okay with anybody?
Yep.
You know?
Make it through the next castle on Legend of Zelda. Fuck you guys. You don't understand.
Yeah.
I just wanted Cheetos. But you know what, though? It's the insecurity coming home to roost. His whole reason for having the gun and wanting to look cool and, all of that. That's what sabotaged him.
Who would you rather hang out with? Somebody that's stoned or somebody that's drunk?
Oh, I'd much rather hang out with somebody that's high.
Yeah. When's
Without
the
a
last
doubt.
time you got high and then you wanted to just go out somewhere and get in a fight?
Oh, yeah. Right now.
When's the last time you got drunk and you wanted to fight? Most of the time, right?
Also now.
Yeah.
Why you look at me like that?
I'm just saying.
I'm about to hit you.
It might be on.
And I know that this is overplayed, but it's legal to go get drunk. That's something that can kill you. You could drink enough alcohol to die right now.
Sure.
You cannot smoke enough pot to kill you.
No,
Period. End of story.
You
can't. It's impossible.
You'll be way too happy to keep going.
Anyway, so I'm just saying, I just can't believe that that's illegal. And
I think just about everybody in our generation understands that.
but do you know when you have friends or peers or something, and you start to be friends with them, and they let you into that world of I get high, and you're like, yes, man, yes, I can talk to this guy now.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
I don't have to hide.
It's kind of like cussing, though. Like, I don't trust people that don't cuss. I just fucking don't. I don't trust people that don't cuss, man. I think it's a flag. It's like a warning sign. People that don't cuss, people that can't admit that they cuss, I can't really be around them. Not really.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It makes me incredibly uncomfortable, and it makes everybody uncomfortable
Yeah.
because they believe something that isn't
Like,
true.
do you pick out the spots where they should have, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Or here's the worst thing. They replace the cuss words with these other words. And since you're making a different sound with your mouth, that means you're not doing anything wrong.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, right.
Getting him it.
Yes.
I'll just have to move on with the subjects. But anymore, I just got to tell you, I don't know what it's like in you guys' town, but musically around here, bro country is fucking taken over.
What is bro country?
Yeah, what
I
is
don't know.
this? Oh,
Put it this way, I don't know what bro country is, but I don't like it. All right?
okay.
But I guess you know what I'm saying when the whole country scene is just so huge now.
Yeah, it's enormous. All my relatives listen to it.
A buddy of mine asked me, he said, why do you think Motley Crue let these country artists cover all their songs on this latest country endeavor where they cover all these it's a Motley Crue tribute by country bands?
Somebody actually asked that question.
Well, let me tell you why.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's because Motley Crue in the last 6 or 10 years did a deal with their record label where they bought all of their song rights back. They did a buyout because 80s music sucked, and the record companies were like, we'll just take the payout. You're done.
Right.
We'll just take the payout.
Yep.
And so they own all this material.
The record company does.
No,
the artist.
Nikki Sixx and the guys in the
those
band
guys.
bought the rights. They own everything.
Nice. They bought low.
They bought
Yes, they
low because they were done. It was back
Right.
when Vince quit and the band was pretty much going to be
right.
nothing. So the record company's like, sure, I'll take a buyout on this crap.
Exactly.
So they bought Shout at the Devil. They bought all,
Fabulous.
all that stuff.
Theater, feel good. Yep.
So then you get these country acts that want to cover their music, and therefore who gets the royalties on this?
Well, they do. It's
Motley
like,
Crue gets the royalties. They let the country people just pay probably a lump sum so that they can be on the record and get recognition that way. But
big name artist.
Well, yeah.
So Motley Crue is going to have the highest selling record that they put out, probably be a covers record, because that market for the country people, they're going to buy it up like candy because it validates them as country listeners. Totally. It's a Motley Crue thing.
Totally.
Right.
It's, you know,
totally, dude.
It crosses over. It's a brilliant move in my book.
It really is.
Have you heard it?
I'm not gonna buy it.
No, but have you even listened to anything? Like, have you heard?
No, but my wife told me it's horrible.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
I had to skim through it, and I'm like,
that's okay.
What a
but this is the takeover of country. This is what I'm saying.
It's the last desperate death throes of the central music business. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Does that qualify as selling out?
I don't know. I don't think selling out. There's not a problem with selling out. That's part of what we're supposed to do.
Yeah,
I know that you might have a problem with that.
No, I don't have a problem with that. But I mean, I agree with that. But it's really just a matter of your creativity and cleverness to make it so that your form of selling out retains its art instead of, you know, turns it into some like repeatable. That's my whole problem with genre playing. You know what I mean? That's my whole problem with genre playing is that when you're playing country, I play country, or I play metal. I play metal. I'm a metal band. You know, the only idiom that I can think of that really encapsulates all of the music and is what I can agree with in general is just the category of rock. I am down with the category of rock. I am a rock and roll and rock person. That's where I come from. That's the most broad category.
I agree.
And to me, it just seems like what all of this stuff is just how the industry is trying to take the phenomenon of rock and build up these groups of people for short periods of time and charge them all this money for this music that appeals to them on some.
You got to take it a little further level, though. It's basically they're putting a style of music in the mold of the style of fashion that sells exactly right now.
It's what do they call a la mode of the style. That's right.
Style. So whatever's that popular style, let's start packaging in that. And I've heard songs that there ain't a country twang in that fucking song except for they sneak in a slide guitar.
Yeah, there's
maybe
a slide. Yep, they got a pedal steel guitar.
You know what I mean? Exactly. On accident.
You get a violin.
But meanwhile, it's still a boom boom ga.
Yeah, right.
Boom boom ga beat. You know, it's just a rock song.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My wife gets mad at me because we'll be driving down the street and she likes country. She likes that new country.
Oh yeah,
I hate to admit it, but my wife likes some of that, and some will come on. I have no idea. I don't keep in touch with who country this that, and I don't know who the fuck it is, but I can tell what the song's gonna do basically. Right when you hear it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But according to her, it's hideous when I do it. But I just sing right over the motherfucker.
Awesome.
I just start singing whatever I would have said right there. You know, like, well, let's get in this truck and head down to the water. You know what I mean? And I just started, and she makes fun of me. She's like, that's horrible. And I'm like, sounds just like him. Sounds just like him.
I just can't get with it, though. I don't know where they're coming from with that.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, most of the guitar playing's happening in country songs nowadays, though.
Oh, for sure, man.
Sorry to say it, but...
No, the instrumentalism is terrific.
When we started the show... I was trying to talk about this ALS thing, and
then we found out that they were only giving 20% of the proceeds to the actual disease.
No, I don't care about any of that.
No, it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I gave them some money, and I dumped a bucket of water on my head and called it a fucking day. You know, it's like, I know I'm gonna have to do it. Everybody else is doing it, and you know, now it's kind of getting. Let's find something new. You know, in support of colon cancer, have everybody fart or something like that.
I got an idea. We should play bro country.
All right.
Is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what we ought to do.
But anyway, one of the better bucket challenges that I saw was from Hong Kong Sleepover. I just like the way that they did this. I wish that I would have taken the time to come up with something like this. Check this out. This is really cool. You guys will dig this, man.
So we've been nominated for the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Oh, isn't that thing where we have to dump a bucket of ice water over our heads or donate $100 to the ALS Foundation?
What? No. That's not even a thing.
Yeah, Pete, quit making stuff up and let the man finish.
Anyways, I think we just have to drink an entire ice down bucket of beer that isn't Miller High Life.
It sounds like Miller High Life.
It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be bad. Oh, it's horrible! Oh, it's in my eyes! I can't see!
Screw it, it's worth it to drink High Life.
Seriously, guys, this does sound like High Life. Here's your right fucking challenge!
Jesus. Oh.
That reaction was priceless. You are such a great actor.
That was excellent.
Yeah, that's
That
the
was
way.
very good.
Man, that was cool.
That was great.
I was laughing my ass off the first time. I was like, cause see, Ted, I've known Ted a long time, and he's always been that guy that just cracks you up no matter what. He's just got this way of doing things. It's just you always wish you could be as funny as him. I don't know. You're just around him. You're like, God damn, I wish I was as funny as that.
Yeah.
How's he that funny?
Yeah,
No
it's
matter what
great.
he does.
Yeah.
You know, it's just funny.
That's awesome.
But anyway, I was in a split personality with him, and I had a couple listeners ask, split personality, I remember that band. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing the shirt that I had from back then.
Wow.
This is how long ago it was. It was like 91-ish.
Oh, okay.
Or 95-ish, something like that. Anyway, this is the shirt that I had from back then. I still wear it.
So how did you meet up with him?
Through Tony Higbee.
Oh, okay.
He was actually in the band when they were actually cool, and then the band like split apart. Somebody quit, and then they tried to put it back together and had me be the.
Now, how did you know Tony? How did you know Tony?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, because he wasn't from here.
I want to say that he answered an ad that Jerry Freeze and I had put in the papers down at Griggs or something like that. And then he answered. He's from Monmouth. Tony was from Monmouth.
Right.
We were looking for a bass player to do like this cover band that played nothing but like Megadeth and fucking
Awesome,
like
dude.
shit like this.
Yeah.
And he came down and I met him, and as soon as we met, we immediately clicked. Because we wanted to do something that was even bigger than that. We wanted to be in an original band together.
Right.
So screw the covers. Me and you are going to go do this thing. Anyway.
That's so better. That's so much better than playing covers and shit.
Yeah. And we were talking about how we used to be good, And I want to say that when I was in this band, I was probably right at the prime of being that fucking bedroom guitar player,
Totally.
Yeah.
And
Practice amp tone master.
And to prove it, I found old video of Split Personality playing in Macomb in '95 with Tony and Ted. Ted was singing, and we were playing, of all songs, "Regular People" by Pantera.
Dude, tell me you have digitized this video.
I have, and it's right here. But you gotta understand, I do a solo in this thing, but it's not the solo on the record. It was just me just kind of taking off, and you're about to see the skinniest, nerdiest fucking guitar player ever.
Whatever.
Okay, but this is me. This is just the kind of stuff that just rolled off my fingers easily. This was just easy, and now I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
All right.
Just should see, At that point, it was like no shit that if anybody, said, "Are you any good at guitar?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
Because I can do this.
Yeah.
Watch this.
And I always kind of held that in my pocket. I always knew that I was, that it was easy.
Yeah.
At that point, and
Yeah,
you were
it is.
inspired, and you had
Totally.
you had a vocabulary of like 100 riffs
Right.
like that. You know.
Right. Absolutely.
And then you have kids, and then life happens, and then other things take the place of
Sure.
it, and you pick your guitar up for the first time in
Yeah.
about 6 months or something, and you're like,
yeah.
and you're like, fuck this, that's hard.
Yeah.
And you put the guitar back.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that I could still do it. It's still there.
Yeah.
But I'd have to plow through
You would
this
have to.
wall that I've built.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I think you can get connected again though. It's not about. I don't think it's about getting back your physical ability to manipulate the instrument and actually play the guitar. I think it really is more just being able to get that connection back. If you can, because you don't have to do all of that stuff in order to get the feeling. Like maybe other people might have to see that sort of stuff in order for them to get the feeling, but that doesn't mean that that's where it has to come from for you. I mean,
I just
it's
love
a great feeling.
I loved playing lead guitar, and at that point I was just starting to get into singing a little bit too. But I was basically planning my life to be a lead guitar player. I had to find that gig where I was going to be the guitar player of the band. Somebody else could do the singing shit. I just want to play riffs and do solos and all that stuff.
Sure, yeah. And it was around the time I think that when I started singing that I started getting away from playing lead guitar and playing crazy solos and shit.
Yeah, it's weird though because I kind of made my name in that arena as far as that fast guitar playing and stuff.
Sure.
And it's kind of it's a hindrance at the same time because you get labeled as shredder. And once you get labeled as shredder, it almost started being like a rip, like you were ripping on somebody. He's just a shredder.
Well, you're kind of hooked on the idea that people think you're a shredder, but then if that turns bad, then what do you got,
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
I do know exactly
There's
what you're
guitar
talking about.
players, and you could always write it off if they're really fast. They could do the same runs over and over and over and over real good. Then you
Sure.
just call them a shredder.
Sure, right.
But if they could slow it down sometimes, which like people always make fun of Yngwie Malmsteen as being like a shredder, but I've heard him play the blues.
Oh, dude, some
And
of his
good
blues is really
God.
good. I've also heard him really butcher the blues too. I don't think that Yngwie always gets that connection, but he can get that connection where you can hear it in his playing. Where it's not the speed, man. It's the dynamics. It's how the subtleties are working with it.
Any guitar players out there that are just kind of coming on the world, like the Colin Cameleys and all these guys that are out now. I implore you to go back and look at Jason Becker from the Perpetual Burn days, and beyond. He's really good. One of my favorite guitar players in the world. He had ALS and now can't even.
That's right.
Speak or move or walk or anything. And I couldn't believe that when we were doing this, I didn't mention Jason Becker when we did the bucket thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It kind of made me mad later. I was like, damn it. How did I knew I was thinking about it, but I just in the moment you just go and you do it. And
he was a terrific guitar player. And the thing I like about Jason Becker is that he wasn't one of those like flawless guitar players. But he would take risks with the way that he would do things on the instrument. And so sometimes when he could land it just right, man, Jason Becker did things that were a cut above everything.
And he was 18 when he put out Perpetual Burn.
Really
Is that when how old he was?
Yeah, 17 or 18. I mean,
17.
Him and Marty Friedman did that symphony.
Cacophony,
Yeah, they did a few albums. Which Cacophony was all right.
It got a bit kooky, you know what I mean? He had to show off and do the yo-yo thing while he was shredding, and I didn't, I don't care too much about that, but just to listen to that Perpetual Burn record, there's some brilliance on there, and he breaks into a little blues part where the song breaks down into a blues thing, and man,
dude.
he
has it, dude.
He had it.
He fucking has it.
Anyway, that's for the guitar players.
Yeah, for the guitar players, for sure.
Yeah, and that whole ALS thing, and we'll just sum that up. That was fun. We did it. One of our asshole co-hosts hasn't done it. But
we won't name any names.
Yeah, but no, you're good. You didn't get called out, I don't think. I think just we did.
People forget about me anyway.
It's not that. I think
we should just nominate.
We're the only ones that they could. What is that when you like highlight the name and tag you in a post? You're not on there, so they couldn't tag you in it.
Right. I don't even know if we're Facebook friends, Jeff.
He don't have a Facebook.
We're not even friends.
You're not even real life friends.
I don't even know if I'm sitting next to you.
We're in different rooms.
Yeah, you set your phone up here so I can see what Bro Country is, and I still didn't get a chance to read it.
No shit.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
So you don't bring it up again because I don't care anymore. But yeah, so we covered that. We covered the Chantix and shit and all that crap.
All that crap.
And the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm telling you, my brain is not my own right now.
Really? Yeah, your brain is being ruled by
it's
Chantix.
Personality altering.
He's all hopped up on Chantix.
Remember, I started to talk about something earlier about how I Googled it, and I found there's a bunch of people that are like, do not take Chantix, man. These motherfuckers got a divorce because of it, and this person ain't friends with me no more because I hate them.
Yeah.
Because apparently you just are real like, hey, good morning, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No shit.
Really bad. Real bad.
Shit. These eggs suck.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning.
So anyway, I want to go to the next section, and I want to talk about all these pussies that said that they were going to cover the Lynn Allen song for us in the MDR cover challenge. Yeah. And they said that they were working on the songs, but we haven't heard hide nor hair of it.
No, we haven't heard dick.
So yeah, what's going on, man?
I haven't heard no one.
Yeah.
No.
Where's Dougie's? I want to hear Doug's. You know, because when I have Bill, because Bill's going to come on the show again with his new band, and we'll talk about his new record and stuff.
Cool.
Very cool.
I want to have some of them covers for to play during that show. So
and let him judge.
Not judge, just listen, and have a good time. You know,
right.
Shit. Why does everything got to be a judgment?
Jeez,
yeah, right. His music is contest now. Is that how it is?
Wow, it turns quickly in this room.
Vibe's getting toxic.
Or I'm in the other room because I'm still in the other room.
That's right, man. It's a pocket door. It's a pocket door between us.
Okay, so I think that I read today on Metal Sledge that Sebastian Bach fell off the wagon, and now him and his girlfriend don't like each other anymore.
No, really?
Is that big news?
Oh,
no.
Is that big news?
Is he taking Chantix too?
I don't know. He's drinking wine again.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that's headline news on Metal Sludge. So it's like, that's what's going on in metal.
How does that do?
What has metal come to?
Yeah.
An end.
Yeah. I saw somebody came up with a list of the 195 or 197 or whatever the fuck it was. Worst bands of all time.
Oh,
was Skid Row in there?
Oh, every band everybody likes is on there.
Every band on this wall.
It's basically one giant fucking troll. It's a giant troll.
Whoever that guy is,
is my band. Is my band? Ooh, these motherfuckers.
Hey, whoever put that together,
genius.
And there it is.
Chantix.
So yeah, because Sebastian Bach quits Skid Row, so the voice of Skid Row is gone.
Right.
You can no longer relate to it, and then
have you tried, by the way?
No, I don't want to because Sebastian Bach is not singing.
Seeing where you're at with it.
So nothing against Scott Sabo and all that. And they're great guys.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the original drummer was the first one to quit. So then they got Phil Varone.
Yep.
Who is that?
Saigon Kid.
Saigon
he was
Kid.
from Saigon Kid.
I remember that man.
As a matter of fact, it's time for a word from our sponsors.
That's right.
Check this out.
Love is on the way. I can see it in your eyes.
Introducing the vibrating Dr. Feelgood from the Phil Varone Sex Toys and Rock and Roll Collection. An actual cast of Phil Varone's impressive cock and the world's first dong with a Prince Albert piercing. This powerful, soft and flexible vibrating dong with a superior suction cup has multi-speed vibration. This massive cock has amazing lifelike detail and is made from phthalate-free PVC. The controller is made from a safe
You don't
and
want
pure
any
plastic,
phthalates in your
and the
vagina.
removable piercing is nickel-free stainless steel. This amazing dong has 6 insertable inches, a diameter of 2 inches, a shaft circumference of 6.5 inches, a scrotum circumference of 12 inches, and an overall length of 8.5 inches.
That's brutal.
With its superior suction cup base,
That is a brutal
you can rock out
dildo.
anytime and anywhere. It's easy to use. Just turn the dial on the side of the controller to the desired intensity of
Does it go to
vibration.
11?
I bet it does.
Uses 2 AA
It's sort of a pastel ivory color.
Quality lube like California Exotic Novelties Universal Lube. And don't forget to clean your Dr. Feelgood with California Exotic
Yeah, I'm
Novelties
kind of
brand
surprised
Universal
that.
Yeah.
The Dr. Feelgood will keep you coming back.
The
for more.
Dr. Feelgood is gonna keep
Now,
you completely
actually-
fucking amped for like the next 6 days.
Yeah, he's being sued by actual, Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Because he had a model that was out, was a little,
Saying it was like a
I think it was something like this.
It was like a little
right there.
little purple mushroom.
Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. You go and you look at all these, kind of washed up rock guys, and
Yeah.
one of them's got a dildo. You'd think that
That's
Tommy
wild.
Lee would have made one and called it the
you would
Dr.
think so.
Feelgood,
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
right?
he sort of. Yeah, I think Motley Crue should sue him, man.
Yeah. So I am after this DVD because I guess a documentary crew followed Phil Varone around
Okay.
for 4 years when he was on tour with Skid Row.
Whoa.
And I guess it's really sad.
Is it called Waking Up Dead?
Yeah, Waking Up Dead. And I've looked for it and looked for it and looked for it, and I'm like, I can't find it anywhere. Yeah. And then finally, in conversation with Matt Finn, he goes, "Oh, I got that," and he's got it. And he had it.
Did you watch it?
He hasn't got it to me yet, but as soon as he does, I'm gonna pour over every second of it.
Dude, is it just a regular DVD?
Yeah, it's a DVD.
Rip it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You want to see it too?
Yeah,
absolutely.
If it's rare, I want to check it out.
Well, apparently he's a self-proclaimed sex addict as well as,
He
a
was
drug
on that
addict.
rehab show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be all him doing blow. I mean, one of the previews of it is him, doing a line of something, and then like, there's nothing better than rock and roll, drugs, and a blowjob, and then some, fake titted bitch starts doing what she does, and he's like, and I guess it gets sad at some point.
I bet it does. I bet it does, man.
Somewhere in there, he had a choice whether to be with his family and his kids, because I guess he had a kid and all that stuff,
if
or
you're
to
going
be
around fucking everybody, you're
this guy. Yeah,
probably gonna have a kid.
And I guess what I'm trying to get at is in my world, that whole dream or idea of what it's like to be a rock star, of the overdone everything, the girls everywhere, the power, all that stuff, you kind of fall in love with that. And at my age, now that I'm 41 and I haven't made it, I really need something to prove to me that what I wanted wasn't what I wanted.
Totally, yeah.
And seeing that DVD might help me with that. It's almost like therapy.
Sure.
Because, you still hold on to it.
Absolutely.
Right. I daydream all the time about, like, man, because I watched 3 Years Hollow on tour, and I'm going, man, they might actually do it,
We watch it and be like, I wouldn't be doing that. That wouldn't be me.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Well,
I mean, look, I've had a conversation with my wife. She said there's probably a good reason that it never happened for me, is because I wouldn't be alive now.
Yeah.
Because, you take a 21-year-old kid that's full of himself and give him the keys to the kingdom and as much money as he can't spend
Right.
and as many girls as he could have sex with.
Yep.
You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Absolutely.
You're going to fuck up the rest of your life somehow. You're going to get an addiction to drugs. You're going to get, somebody's going to get pregnant. Somebody's going to get herpes. Somebody's going to be, there's something bad's going to happen. So, of course I would have taken advantage of all them things, because them are all things that feed an ego of a guy that's already got an out of control ego.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'd have made it through that. I don't know if I'd have been smart enough to pull myself out.
I don't know if I would have been either. But I think it's sort of related to the fact that you're being handed the keys to the empire rather than building the castle by hand. I mean, that's kind of the thing about it, is that you go from, nothing to everything overnight, and you can't appreciate it. So you're just totally indulgent,
Sure.
As much pleasure as I can jam into every nerve in my body.
What do you really think when you read all these books about, like Tommy Lee's autobiography and all these rock stars biographies and that, it kind of goes through a day in the life of how it was in the heyday of when they were doing that. And that's the part that I like to get to, because I just really want to see what it was like, and you look at say like 3 Years Hollow, and they're on the road now. They seem to be kind of wise to this thing, because they're not acting a fool. They're not doing a bunch of drugs. They're not doing crazy things, groupies and this and that. At the same time, you're kind of going, it doesn't look very much like it's very much fun.
Well, it's not like what it used to be in certain ways. They didn't get just handed some huge pile of cash to work with that doesn't really belong to them.
And then you go back to Stephen Piercy's book, and you realize that, he's getting a blowjob in the morning, and then he does a line of blow and smokes a joint, and then he goes and does something else that's fun.
And how much do you believe of that?
That's what I mean. It's like, how much do you think is real of that?
During that period, I'll bet it was as real as he remembers.
Yeah.
And that's right. I guess as reading it, that's what I think to myself.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably 75% true.
And that's why he's in a situation that he is right now. He's still out there plugging away at it, lost his voice. Just, that's all he's got.
But he has to. Yeah. And he has to go out and try to do it. It's all he's got.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the deal you make with the devil. I guess when you're at the crossroads, that's the deal that you make.
That's right.
And I guess I remember being young and seeing the movie Crossroads, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, that wasn't Ralph Macchio shredding. That was Steve Vai doing both sides.
At the end,
and what really fucking pisses me off about that movie is the winner of the shred off at the end only wins because he hits a higher note than the other guy can fret.
Which, by the way, he not only hits the higher note, but if you listen closely, there is a second note. It is as if he played a harmony with one note. It actually, there's no way. So I think that's the whole Deus Ex Machina, the whole Ghost in the Machine, is that he was able to play this magic note that was so complicated and complex.
No,
you know?
to me it was the general population that was watching that movie associated like, oh, they were waiting to find out, well, what makes one better than the other.
Right, yeah.
They didn't know. One could and then one could be like, they wouldn't know which one was better.
Not at all.
And I'm sorry, not that they're dumb, but just they're not guitar players, so they're not going to know.
They don't hear the subtleties.
Right, they don't hear the subtleties.
Yeah.
But they were like, how are we going to make it so it's a definite win?
Totally.
And then everybody's like, oh, he could play his man way up there, man. And all of a sudden, for a while, everybody thought the better you were, the higher note you could hit.
That's right.
Because of that fucking movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like, listen, anybody, I could take a slide all the way up to the fucking bridge if you want.
Yeah.
And your dog's going to hear it, not you. But,
right.
You know,
well,
it just wasn't right.
I remember watching a video where Danny Gatton takes a beer bottle and he keeps going up higher on the slide and higher and higher and higher and higher until he reaches a note that is past the pole pieces of the pickup, so the pickup doesn't register anymore. So he has to lower the bottle back down to where you can hear the note again, and then he stops and he goes, "That's as high as it goes."
Then he's the best guitar player in the world.
He is the best guitar player in the world. Yep.
According to Crossroads.
So
now that you guys obviously play a lot and know all your stuff, who do you think's a better guitar player? I mean, like, that you still want to listen to and like,
right?
That influenced you, and or you got better at it. And like,
who's
he's
the
not
guitar
really as
player
good as I thought, or
what?
But who still trips your trigger?
Who do I still like to listen to? I mean, all of them. All of my favorite guitar players that I liked when I was young, I still admire the things that they do that I loved when I loved it.
Like their recordings or like what they're doing now?
Yeah, a lot of the guitar players, I don't even pay attention to it anymore because it's so saturated now with such... Back then, it was such a special thing to see a guitar player that could play like that.
Right. Yeah.
And now you can see it anywhere.
It's commonplace, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you see it everywhere.
Absolutely.
Guitar players playing their ass off all over the place, and now it's just like, well, whatever. You know what I mean?
But
like,
you know, and I hate to like call back to my extremely long rant about country guitar playing and what it is, and I'm telling you, it's for the same reason, that it is because of the fact that now they're not inventing the wheel anymore. So you don't get the richness of the person who actually is flying by the seat of their pants and makes this thing happen. You're getting all of these well-crafted imitations of it that are devoid of the originality of the experience of being like the first or among the first to get a certain sound, you know? Yeah. And when you're in that space, I just think that that's where the guitar playing sounds the very best.
Yeah.
And after that, then even those guitar players become imitations of themselves and start to suck.
I got a story.
All right.
And it'll end up with a picture that I want you to see, Travis.
Yeah.
And I hope my wife's cool with me telling the story, but her grandfather... His father was like a musician, and he played guitar in the honky tonks.
Oh,
way back, okay.
Okay.
And he had this guitar that he played, and it was an SG. An old SG.
I like old SGs.
But it was bad for the family. The guy was always in the honky tonk. You know, the bad side of that whole business happened. Right. And so
he was an absent father.
Her grandpa does not care about this guitar that was left to him. Okay, and he just wanted to get rid of it.
He's mad at it.
Yeah, and so he gets rid of it for an undisclosed amount of money, which isn't exactly what, you know. But I remember seeing the guitar, and I was talking to Dee, and I was like, man, you know, I play guitar, and at least he could you leave it with me. He didn't have to see it. I'll keep it nice and taken care of, and the fretboard oiled, and you know everything taken care of.
Who else does he know that would have the amount of reverence and respect for the instrument?
Right. And so, but he just wanted rid of it, and he just got rid of it, and that he feels good about that, and it's cool. But I'd like to show you a picture of the guitar, and I want you to tell me what it is. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So here's a picture.
Does it say Les Paul on the cover?
That's a close up of the body.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. SG.
Hold on. Here's the whole guitar.
Yep. SG Special. I'm gonna say
it's an SG Special.
It's an SG Special, and I think it's got the witch hat knobs, which those were between like I think 67 and 74 in that era, because the SG that I learned on was a 71 and it had the witch hat knobs.
Okay.
Like that one. So that's just my guess. The original vibrato, the vibrola there, it's just a bent piece of metal, and they were not the most stable tuning things in the world, but they were there or whatever. This was kind of like a student version of the guitar.
Was it really?
It was the cheaper version because it doesn't have the humbucking pickups. The P90s were considered to be inferior technology, which I'm not sure that they are.
What do you think that guitar's worth?
I'm gonna guess that a guitar in that condition with the original case and everything. I mean, this is gonna be a broad range, but I'm gonna just guess and say somewhere between $2,500 and $5,000.
Okay.
That'd be my guess. That'd be my guess. Maybe more towards 2,500 because.
How about with the original amp that came with it? That was also a Gibson amp.
Okay, is it like a Gibson Falcon, like a 5G?
He never showed me the amp, but he said that it came as a package.
Yeah, and it's probably a tube amp because solid state. Some of the companies were starting to embrace.
So now we're doing roadshow. We're doing antique roadshow.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the companies were starting to embrace solid state, but Gibson was always a company that was slow to figure things out.
Travis, one of these days I'm gonna break out the old guitar contest videos.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any video of you when you did the guitar contest?
I don't think so.
Because I remember it. I remember that's when I first saw you.
Right.
And I knew that you were good, but you were playing the SG, so I hated you.
Right.
Because I didn't like SGs. It reminded me of AC/DC, and that's too basic.
Yeah.
You needed more of a showy guitar to me. And
exactly.
then I would have respected you more. But I knew you were tearing it up.
Yeah.
And I remember your dad being really into the stuff too, and you guys were trying to put together some sort of musician site or magazine.
That's
Back then there wouldn't be a site; it'd be like a magazine.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, it was kind of a site. What he was trying to set up was a BBS. Like where you, in the days before the internet, you could call up on your computer using a modem at, 1200 baud or whatever it was, speed we were running at. And, you could chat. I mean, it was almost kind of like Craigslist or something, I mean, you had these, the small group of local people who were dialing into a local phone number in order to participate in the BBS. And he was trying to put out
what is BBS?
A bulletin board service, I believe is what it stands for. But I remember he put those cards and those flyers in Griggs, musicians connection. You know what I mean? It was something like that he was trying to see if he could get people in touch with each other. He knew that was an important part of it. I mean, think about this, man. How long were we playing guitar before we even knew each other play guitar? Like, if today, because of how interconnected everybody is, if a kid starts playing guitar and starts getting good and looking for other people, he can find out who's in every school in town.
Yeah, we were fucked.
We were fucked, man.
We were fucked.
We were totally fucked.
We had to, go to Griggs and ask around, and then, then they'd never be interested in what you're doing.
You're like, whatever, man.
Yeah. It was hard to put a band together.
Oh man, you like Poison? Okay, that's cool, man. You like Motley Crue? Okay, man. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, you like Winger? Hey, fuck you, man.
Hang up on them. Yeah,
fucking
hang up on them,
dude. Like, somehow that was different.
You know how many drummers that when I was looking for a drummer, it started very young. I had to find a drummer that I could gel with, and you know how many drummers I went over to their house in their mom's basement, and they had like a 25-piece double bass Ludwig kit. Fucking nice, at least like $10,000 worth of gear sitting there, and they fucking sucked.
Really?
I was like, oh hell yeah! I put my PV Bandit down. I'm like, I'm ready to go. You ready to rock this shit? Ready? And I'm like, are you fucking serious, man? Your parents put that much money into a drum set? You suck.
They thought if they kept buying you pieces that would.
Now I know how a girl feels when they go on a bad date and the guy's breath stinks and he's just like, hey, what's up, baby? And they're like, oh shit, this blind date ain't working out. You got to figure out how to get out of the house. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're just like, all right. And they're like, so we're gonna make a band or what?
Purposely trying to break a string to get out of there.
Well, I have to go. Why? I don't know. Because you don't have a cell phone.
Right.
Street lights are on.
My mom's picking me up, dude. You're waiting in his driveway like, come on. Looking down the street, trying to be discreet.
Yeah, because your mom drops you off. She ain't picking you up until 10.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mom. Hang around the block for just about 5 minutes. Let me see what's going on, man.
Yeah. I've had a couple jam sessions like that where it was just like, you clearly don't play.
Yeah.
You clearly are not a player.
Yeah. I actually jammed with one that was just an air drummer.
Sweet,
but he
dude.
was the best air drummer I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sure he was fantastic.
And if he ever got a kit, he would be in my band. Because he could take that Rush song, you know,
Yeah.
the so bad, you know,
Yeah, no. He had it.
Oh, he had every cymbal hit and everything.
No
just
shit,
nailed.
huh? No
just
shit.
nailed. You just watch him like he'd put the record on and he'd sit in the chair and like, all right, you know what I mean? And it would come on and
Right.
and he would just nail it.
Never touched a kid.
I'm like, man,
never held a stick.
Right, but he knew where every cymbal hit was, and you know, and
No shit.
he even knew where his cymbals were supposed to be. Like one was
you
supposed to be
gotta
If I
back
had
there.
them, they would be here.
Yeah,
How old
yeah.
was this guy?
Back then he was probably like 14,
That dude
12, or
was a genius. I can already tell you.
his name was Craig Bailey.
Craig Bailey,
Yeah.
you are a genius.
And if he ever got a kit, man, it was on.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Did he ever get a kit?
Do you think, he ever did?
I think he actually did. I remember being up in his attic. Now think about this. Summertime, attic, no insulation, hotter than
Oh, yeah.
fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And here's our dumbasses up there with
Dude, we can practice up here,
we
man. It's a big
practice up here.
space. Yeah.
I think for a while my mom bought me a 15 watt Marshall.
Oh yeah. No,
you know, because that's how
Yeah.
I wanted a
It
Marshall,
says
but it was
Marshall.
only like that big.
I had a Marshall Lead 12. It was
Yeah.
a 12 watt Marshall.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it up there at the Best Pro. Yeah.
Best Pro, Daryl. Yeah,
they had
man.
the Ace Frehley Washburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, dude.
Yep.
Piece of shit.
Man, Daryl.
I forgot
And they had
about that.
Jacksons. That's why I went there. It's 'cause they had Jackson
They
guitars,
had-
man.
They had Jackson amps.
I just used to just go in there and just stare at all the Jacksons and go, wow.
No, but you
man.
know what was cool is like when I first started playing, that was like sometime around 1985, 1987, somewhere in there. I think it was 1987. And I think 1987 was the year that all the Jubilee Marshalls came out, all the gray Tolex Marshall
Yeah,
amps,
okay.
you know. And Daryl ordered that he placed a huge order with Marshall and had his store full of Jubilee stuff. And I think to myself now, damn it.
What was it on? Was it McKay that's on Brady Street coming
Yeah.
up?
Yep.
I got kicked the fuck out of there one time.
Oh yeah, was it by John?
I don't remember who it was, but they just said, "Yeah, well, you can just get out now."
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because they had at the time they started selling. Oh God, what were they? What were they?
Hamer guitars. My buddy Brandon got
Yeah.
a Hamer from those guys. A Hamer, California.
They had
great guitar.
Hamers hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
And I come walking in, probably my ripped pants, my bowl cut, you know what I
Yep,
mean? Like going places, you know, I got
Yeah.
shit to do. What do you guys got that I can utilize to, you know, reach
Yep.
my stardom?
Yep. Real player. Real player.
Hammer, and I look at the price tag and I was like, and I said, fuck that, I can go up the street and get a Jackson.
Yeah.
And the dude was like, you know what? Well, you guys can just fucking leave.
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, fine, you ain't got Jacksons anyway. So we left.
All right.
Hamer. I said, what is Hamer? What's
Yeah.
a Hamer?
Yeah,
And why
Hamer.
is it $3,000?
You know what? You probably said hammer, and somebody
Yeah.
came up and corrected you, and you were like,
Drop
"Ooh,
hammer. See, that's what I should have done. Was I should have put
play
another
hammer."
M in there
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
played them guitars.
Well, here's the thing that was fucked up about Hamer. Hamer then came out with their cheap line called Slammer, which doesn't rhyme with hammer.
Slamer.
But it's
It's
spelled-
lamer.
Yeah, and that's what we always said. Is this a good guitar? Oh, it's
Yeah.
lamer than most.
Yeah.
That's about where we were at with those.
Yeah.
But, they were all produced, that was early Korean production. That was
Yeah.
like when it was early. you
Isn't
know.
that fun to talk about how when we were kids where we knew where all the important things were
totally.
happening? Now I fucking don't have a clue who has what where.
We used to get catalogs sent to our house around Christmas time.
Yes.
And then we would look in it and we would ignore all of the
Musician's
pages.
Friend, right?
Well, we would get Musician's Friend or JCPenney or whatever, and we would circle the shit that we wanted.
Oh, JCPenney had harmonies.
Yeah,
that's
right,
where I got my
right.
first harmony.
There you go. And they always had the drum kits set
My
up all
first,
fucking
my
weird.
only harmony.
Your
Yeah.
only harmony.
Yeah.
Because they didn't endorse you.
That's all right.
Well, first thing my mom got me was that drum kit that you're
Right.
talking about.
The one with the toms all sticking out like headlights. What the fuck was that all about?
that one, and it had, I remember because it had a kick drum and a high hat. No, it didn't have a hat. A kick drum, one tom,
Yep.
and like what you thought might be a snare, and one cymbal that it was a sizzle cymbal
Right, yep,
with the
yep,
rivets in it. So
yep.
when you hit it, it was like, enough to piss everybody off, you know.
Yeah.
And my mom would like, as soon as she got the side door shut to go to work, do die, like crash on that fucking thing, beating the fuck out of it. You know, fucking just beating the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then
I can remember doing that. I can remember doing that on somebody else's kid and leaving their heads looking like they just got fucking punched.
I mean, and I think it came with one set of drumsticks, and I broke them within the first hour. So I go and get like, look in my closet. You know the hangers that had the the cardboard tube.
Yeah,
break them fuckers off.
Yep.
All the wooden spoons in the basement were they're gone.
Wooden spoons
I broke
last.
them all.
Yeah,
they're gone. Sorry. And I even added another Folger can tom, like a roto tom, like, you know, a little duct tape and just duct tape. You know.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. But I mean, isn't it so great to just rock the fuck out?
You put on Kiss Alive too, and fucking crank that as loud as it can go, and you just start beating the shit out of the drums.
Yes,
and you think you're doing something, you're like, yes.
Well, you are though. You know what I mean? You're plugging yourself in.
And then you're like, I gotta go to school. You know?
No, I don't want to go to school.
God, school sucks.
Yeah.
And then you go to school, and then, and then you come home and immediately start
back right after. Exactly, because you've got X amount of time before mom gets home from her job.
And then mom gets home and she immediately like, shut up, you know, and you're like, just one more song. And then she's like, okay, guitar.
Yep.
We'll try guitar.
You can turn that down.
You have a volume. Well, an acoustic. She got me an acoustic.
Oh, yeah. Those are loud.
You're going to play like Neil Diamond. Yeah. It's like, you think that, but I'm going to play a Kiss. And then it was on. Then I went down to Bolby's. By the Clipper.
Yeah.
And took one lesson.
Oh, was it from Mike Wallace? Or
I don't know who it was. I didn't care.
Okay.
But I figured the guy knew how to play Detroit Rock City.
Oh.
And that's all you needed.
And that's all I cared about.
I wonder if it was Mike Meinert.
I remember just sitting there, and I remember I was just had my guitar, and I was like listening to whatever he was trying to say about how I have to learn the fundamentals, and I heard some shit like that, and I was like, yeah, teach me Detroit Rock City. And he's like, oh no, you got to start with Mary Had a Little Lamb and stuff, and you learn. I was like, I'm out.
Yep.
And went home and immediately put the record on. Down. Bing bong, ping bong, ping bong, ping bong, until I could finally figure it out.
Right.
And then forget lessons.
Yeah, but sheerly just matching it, like
just doing what I thought it sounded like,
and then keep on
then you could reference it maybe if you saw them on a video somewhere. Then you could reference. He's playing it right there.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that, man. I totally remember that.
Or you'd have a buddy that would spot it first, and you go, "Oh no, dude, it's right here."
Yeah. Watching music videos to see how they were playing the guitar solos. I totally did that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Kiss didn't have any music videos.
They didn't though. They were. That was a little late in the game.
Yeah, but good times, man. That right there. You don't know it, but them are the best times of playing guitar. Is when it's coming to you and you're so obsessed about it. You can't wait to learn the next riff. You can't wait to put on the song and learn it.
You can't go a day without playing, and like you don't want to go anywhere. We're going on vacation. Well, can I bring my guitar?
I remember the only way I could be punished was my mom would take my guitar from me. You know?
Absolutely. My parents did the same thing. You've got an effing
take your guitar.
That guitar's going in the shed.
I know where the shed is.
And I was all like,
I know how to get in there.
All right, I'll do my schoolwork. And then I wouldn't do my schoolwork, and I'd just sneak out to the shed and play it. I knew the combination. I wasn't stupid.
Yeah, good times, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
So
for sure.
That's how rock and roll works.
That is how rock and roll works.
It gets you when you're young, man, and that feeling, you're chasing the dragon for the rest of your life. And pretty soon you find yourself in the purgatory, and your co-host of your podcast, Dad, is there for 5 seconds. He's like, all right, I've had enough of this shit. You know, you're halfway through Cat Dragged In, like sweating and farting and being old and shit.
Hey,
like,
don't leave. We're about to do I Want Action.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this next one, man.
Right.
This is gonna move you.
What we're gonna do?
This one's gonna move you.
We're gonna do Lay It Down.
No,
don't take off.
But by the way, I want to thank. That was cool that he stopped out.
That is pretty cool, man.
And I got to hear some of that stuff, but.
Yeah, he said he was impressed, man.
Yeah, well, he should be, you know. I'm pretty badass. I mean, I'm kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Didn't you know?
But that's the thing about impressed. Impressed doesn't necessarily mean that they were impressed with how good you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I was really impressed.
Oh, he showed up
with
on
how
time.
utterly terrible what I saw.
The people that go out and see rock bands anymore are it's kind of fading.
Yeah.
The whole scene is kind of going through one of them things again because you know where it's gone to is it's gone to the country bands.
Yeah.
Your dirt road rockers and all that. They're still they're playing every fucking weekend all the time at big gigs. You know why? Because it's commercially friendly right now.
Well, the chicks dig it.
And they do well at it too. I mean, they're doing a good job at it.
If you do well at it and the chicks dig it, you got something.
Yeah, I think the whole the 80s tribute thing is, I mean, the people that are still going to remember that stuff are not going out anymore.
Yeah, they're cooked, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't make them go out and see you anymore, man.
But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to
being mean to him.
I'm not going to be a 90s
torch
tribute
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the world a favor, man.
Do the world a favor. Throw it in the towel.
Yeah.
Throw it in the towel.
So, and
I'm not going to make you guys go out anymore.
But recently, as the last ditch effort of like trying to grab onto any kind of, people being nice to me and stuff, I re-put my music out on Reverb.
Yeah.
So,
you did.
and in like about 3 hours, I was like number 3 on the charts in Davenport.
Sweet.
Yes.
Which that, I put like that and $1.50 will get you a cup of coffee. It's just funny how, you get on there and that site is so aimed at like trying to make you feel like you're cool and like, here's your chance, dude.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm 14.
Yeah.
And they send me an email after email. It's like, get your song in front of this A&R guy. Well, this label's looking for stuff, submit it. It's only $50.
Right.
Or I don't even know how much it is because I don't even click on it. I'm like, delete. You're not going to get your big break on Reverb.
No, you're not. Or if you are going to get your big break on Reverb, you're not going to need any of those middlemen to helping you out.
But I did put all of our, the whole Drop Hammer catalog is on there.
Okay.
Bring It Down and 3 is on there. Because there's people that say, how can I get that stuff? How can I hear it? And it's not any good. I mean, it's good, but it's in this era compared to what you can do now recording, it's not good.
Right.
The music's good. You just have to remember it was like in the 90s and, all that stuff. But
they've got it all figured out, man. It's down to a science. You can watch YouTube videos and figure out how to make great metal songs. I mean, it's really wild.
It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Because the only people that are beating me are some cover band and 3 Years Hollow. So,
all right.
Yeah. I bet you if you went on there tomorrow, you'd like go to like second place like that.
No, I definitely.
You know how hard it is to take second place? Like you get like 3 listens. And you're like immediately on the charts, dude.
Well, if I get you guys to listen to it, and I could probably talk Chris Ermy into listening to it. So, that's number one.
Yeah, so go on there and listen to as many as you can possibly stand, because I want to be number 1 for one day and take a picture of it, and then get a plaque made.
I have made it.
I was number 1. I was number 1 on the charts, man.
I listened to it on every computer in the library.
It's funny because it says your local rank, like you're 3rd place out of all these local people, and then it says like national rank 10,452. You're like not even like
man.
I'll take the 3rd place, please.
Yeah.
3rd place in Davenport, Iowa, East Side.
What am I in
East Davenport?
Right.
What am I in Eldridge?
What am I ranking Eldridge?
What's the littlest pond and still be a big pond that I can be the fish in?
Oh shit, man. Well, this podcast is over again. I'm hot, man.
It's
Are you?
warm in
Fucking
here.
burning up.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Somebody's tapping me on the foot.
All right. Well, I mean,
we'll talk about that.
You suppose I got enough material to edit together into some kind of semblance of anything reasonable?
Probably not.
No.
Maybe.
This would be a 5-minute blurb.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got to cut all the pot part out.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. My wife wants me to tell the story of what happened to my foot.
Oh, do I now?
Because I'm also on pain pills.
Oh, you're on pain pills and
He's all
Chantix.
hopped up on pain pills too.
Oh, for crying out!
So check it out. Like normal. Okay, so normal people have toenails that grow like normal, like your thumbnail, like this.
They
right?
just come straight out.
Right.
Yeah.
And so mine decided like on this side, it was going to just grow straight fucking down into my skin. Like,
so
it's an ingrown
nail. Yeah.
But it was extremely ingrown. It was really freaking out, and it hurts really bad. And my kids step on it at least 100 times a day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to the doctor, and he looked at it, and he did a little surgery on it.
Okay.
So what he needed to do was, of course, you get. So this is your toe. You get like a nice little shot right there in that knuckle,
That
and
had
then
to be
like
awesome.
one over here. And
Are you
then,
not a fan of the needles?
And then,
No, but not like the toe.
Okay.
and then you get one. I think it was like right down here, right about by the cuticle,
Yep.
and then like kind of up under there.
Yep. That pinches you.
Yeah, it don't feel good.
Yep.
And then he just takes like what looks like a pair of scissors type metal thing and just starts cutting into your nail and under it all the way back to here.
Yep.
Which he's cut now all the way back to your cuticle, that whole side of your nail off.
Right.
And he pulls that out. And then he does the same to the other side. And blood is just
going everywhere.
And what freaks me out about it the most is like, that you should be feeling some fucking excruciating pain.
Yeah. If you're looking at it, for sure.
But you don't You don't
just
feel
don't
the
feel
fucking
it.
thing,
When the
but you
shots
know
wear off,
he's
nothing?
fucking you up. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And that's what they did. So half of my toenail is now gone, and they have to take this wooden stick and push this medicine up under your skin
Right,
where
right.
it grows out of to make sure it don't grow back out of there again.
Exactly. Yep.
And you're just kind of, and my wife's going like this to it. She's.
I don't want to look at it.
And I'm trying to be a big boy because my daughter's in there too. For some reason, we made it a family occasion.
Oh,
We took
really?
everybody in there, and
Hey.
and I'm daddy's
Come on
daddy's being a big boy, and I'm just like, no, honey, needles are cool.
Fine, everything's fine.
That don't hurt. And apparently, my wife said the word "fuck" came out of my mouth once.
Oh, really?
In there, but
It's a strange family outing.
yeah.
I try to use the same technique that I used during the ice bucket challenge. Actually, to get myself through those. It's just to completely zone out and just completely ignore everything.
But you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Like when you're about to have something done to you that
Yeah.
should be
Oh,
fucking you up.
It's exciting.
That whole day, you're like, oh my God, there's gonna be blood all over this part of my body. They're gonna be cutting into it. It's gonna be a weird deal.
Yep.
And God damn it, I'm gonna have to go through this. And you're trying not to get psyched. This ain't no
just
shit.
whatever.
This
It's
ain't no
gonna be
shit. It's gonna be easy.
I'm cool as a cucumber. I'm happy as a clam.
As soon as you're sitting there in that chair and the doctor starts to get out of the shit that he's doing, he gets the gloves on, and he gets that needle out and sets it down. It's like, fuck, it's on.
They do that on purpose. They set that in front of you
because
on
you know
purpose.
that first shot's not gonna feel good.
No,
It's not gonna feel good at all.
no.
And I know what he's about to do. I know he's about to cut my toenail off.
Yeah.
Fucking
Right,
cut
exactly.
my toenail the
Off.
fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
He's gonna get out
that was my Ron
scissors.
White. Cut it the fuck off.
Yeah. So he's gonna get out scissors or a knife.
Yeah, it's not gonna be pleasant, and there's gonna be some blood involved, and he's just, he does this all day long.
Yep,
I'll just have to cut the sides off of both your nails there.
Yep.
It's gonna bleed. Fuck yeah, it's gonna bleed.
He's gonna bleed all over the
It's
place.
probably going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, I just had that done, and that's why I'm limping around a little bit. But I worked today and yesterday on it. Don't give a
that's
shit.
good.
We got
That's
some
good.
good pain meds and
that's good.
Chantix, and it's all good. What? She wanted me to say
Just
it.
thinking of a merciless doctor who's like, "You're gonna bleed like it's high tide."
He didn't even prescribe me any pain meds.
No.
And as a matter of fact, he goes, I say, can I get any like hydrocodone or anything? He's like, most people just take a little bit of Advil or something. I'm like, well, you're taking my nail off. I'm not some people. You realize that this is what they used to torture people with. You shove shit under the toenails. And
Right.
it's like torture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, well, most people can handle it enough that they just take some Tylenol or whatever, isn't it? And something like that. And I was like, well, how about medicinal grade marijuana? How about that?
Did he
And goes,
actually?
yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
I said that.
You said that?
I fucking said that.
Yeah, so then what
You
did
know
he
why?
say?
Because I'm Brian fucking Miner.
That's right.
And I talk about pot to my doctors all the time just to see what they say.
And what did he say?
And he said, well, you'd have to go to Colorado for that. I was like, yeah. And he said, it might be here pretty soon.
Yep.
Yeah. I've
Yep.
told two doctors. My pulmonary doctor, I told him, I was like, he's like,
Yeah.
any recreational drugs? I was like, fuck yes. And then
HIPAA, bitch.
he's like,
HIPAA.
he's like, marijuana? It's like, of course. And then, this and that. And he said, now, I swear to God, he said, is it medicinal grade or homegrown? And I was like, it makes a difference?
Yeah.
And he's like, absolutely, because the medical grade isn't going to have mold on it.
Right.
And you're not going to be inhaling mold spores from it.
Right.
If it's homegrown, it's probably not dried correctly. And he knew all
Right.
this.
He knew all this.
It's probably not dried correct. I'm like, I'm having a conversation about weed with my doctor that is not giving a shit, not looking down at me at all.
This is the best moment of my life.
I thought he was going to be like, all right, brr, hits a button, sirens come on, the fucking FBI comes in, cuffs and stuff.
Yeah.
This
SWAT
motherfucker
teams.
smokes pot. I got one.
SWAT teams. They'd still do that in Texas.
Yeah.
I think.
He's basically letting me know what kind of marijuana to smoke if I choose to partake in that.
Ah, yeah.
So, cool doctor.
Yeah, that's great.
Did I say that this podcast was over?
That's a marvelous.
Yeah. I think it was over before it started.
I think you're right.
Probably.
I think you're right.
Don't bring me down, man.
Bruce. And we're just gonna start calling you Bruce.
I tried, dude. I tried really hard.
Heavy downer. What's up
Fucking
with that?
Chantix, dude.
It's got me.
Fucked your whole vibe
It's
up,
got
man.
me. It's got me, dude. I can't smoke though. I don't smoke anymore, and that's the good side of
Yeah.
things. And
is.
kids, and you can't
Yeah.
do that shit. And-
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got me.
Yeah, I can
So,
tell. I can
thank
tell.
you very much.
You got a little furrow in your little brow.
He might tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Jesus Christ. I feel like this guy right here. I feel like.
Feel like Mr.
Welcome to episode 25.